Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to sell more and spend less on Amazon FBA. I have a specific strategy for achieving this, so if that sounds like something you're interested in watching, be sure to stick around till the end. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to Black Box by Helium 10, and we're just going to start looking for a market that represents exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Really quick before we get into it, if you have a chance to go down below and like and subscribe this video, it helps me out as a small growing channel so much, so I appreciate it already. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to the keyword section and we're going to fill this out. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you'll know that I love Helium 10's black box tool and specifically the keyword section. If you're new here, we'll just take a quick tutorial, take a quick second and show you how to fill this out. So what this tool is basically going to do is it's going to show you different keywords that customers are looking for so that you can present them with a new option. And that kind of is a big part of what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to put in, search volume of about 500, go max it out at about 5,000. Revenue, we'll actually go 5,000 minimum, and then maybe we'll go 15,000 maximum. And then review count, we'll just throw up a quick 300, come down to categories, and we'll just select a couple, and then we'll jump right into what today's lesson is going to be about, because this is not what it's about. We just need a little bit of an area to browse through right here. So we'll go ahead and hit search, and now we're into it. What you really want to do to sell more on Amazon and spend less is stop trying to rank for such incredibly high competition markets. One of the biggest mistakes that new beginner sellers make is almost by accident. I think fundamentally they understand that there's a benefit to having less competitors and selling in less competitive areas. They probably hear that in YouTube videos or wherever, but then they don't put it into practice. Maybe it's just they don't know exactly what to look for. But I can guarantee that you've done this at some point if you've ever tried to look for a product. I can't tell you the number of times that people have shown me ideas to review. I do one-on-one mentoring and I run a course, obviously, Savage University. Someone will show me something and I'm just like, no, just go back to the drawing board because this is not it. So we'll try and find an example of both of what I'm talking about right here. And I'll tell you a little bit about why it is more expensive to try and sell one of those kind of products and why you actually, strangely, the smaller the market is, end up selling more. Hopefully not smelling more. So farmhouse pendant lighting for kitchen island. Let's check that out. So we'll open that in a new tab. And then let's do something like a, I don't even know what a drum shade chandelier is. We'll check out crawl space door. Cool. And then feather garland is interesting. Let's try that. That should work for us. So we'll come up here to farmhouse pendant lighting for kitchen island. There's a couple of things that pop out to me right away about this. That's a very long tail keyword. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-word phrase to get to this product. So that plays into what we want. Let's get a really clear definition of how you can actually go about selling more by spending less. The things that you do want to do we'll start off with what you should be doing is looking for long phrases like this one that lead you to markets where a customer wants a very specific product. And then once you get there, there shouldn't be a lot of those specific products being sold to that customer already. Because what that's going to do is when you have to run ads, you don't have as many people competing against you running ads at the same time. So your ads are less expensive, so you spend less. Generally, with these markets, you don't need to over order inventory because they're selling. Ironically, you sell less to make more. Is almost what I'm trying to get at. If you go into these big markets, a lot of the times you'll have more customers, but because your customer acquisition cost is so high, your profit becomes so low. So you would actually be better off selling 100 units in a market like this and making $6,000 per month than making at a 40% profit margin or 30% profit margin than you would at $20,000 per month with a 7% profit margin. So that's like, for me, I'll take the first one all day, right? Because you're ending up with more profit at the end of the day, and that's what this is all about. What we don't want to see is when we look at a market, let's see if any of the ones that we opened up led us to a more competitive market, and probably not because of the nature of how we're looking for things with our tool. It's one of the cool things about using a tool like this. If you put in the right criteria, you're almost bound to find like more good ideas than bad ideas, depending on how you look at it. By the way, if you don't have this tool yet, there will be an affiliate link down below for 10% off every single month for life, as long as you stay on the subscription. So you'll be able to use that and follow along in my videos. Plus I get a kickback, so great way to support the channel. So what you don't want to do, because I think sometimes the mistakes, the failures, the don'ts are just as important as learning the right way, learning the right strategies, learning the right mindset. So a little bit of what that looks like would be, let's just try and pull it up here. I don't want to go with too much of a specific, let's go with this, because I remember one of the first people I ever learned from, this was their first failed product. So camping hammock, right? You might think that, okay, there's a lot of camping hammocks. Some of them are bundling stuff together, but wait, I found this new thing that you could bundle with it that's going to change the way that hammocks are sold. How has no one thought of doing this? Even in that situation where in your mind you think you have the perfect thing to bundle with it, there are so many good, high quality competitors and so many people paying for ads and so many different bundles here. Have you ever heard of like ad fatigue, right? Like when ads just aren't effective at all to anyone, because even if it's a good product, customers just block them out, right? They've just seen so many, they've just been pounded in the face with advertising on every screen that they've ever seen, that it just doesn't even register anymore. And that's what's happening to you when you try and sell in these bigger markets. And it can be subtle too, because you might think that you're in a smaller market because everyone in the top has less than 400 reviews. Like, oh, Paul, this is an overblown out, exaggerated example. They have 34,000. Obviously, I know that. Well, even in markets where this person maybe had 400 or 300 reviews and this person had 100, this person had 70, this one had 80, but then we look down the page and there's 400 results for that product, that's not any better. So you can easily get tricked into this. And I have a great example, actually. One of the things that people show me all the time are like, specifically, this isn't tied to one kind of decoration, but you say, oh, there's a bunch of different decorations here. I could come up with a new design and put it up there and it would just do awesome. Yeah, well, when a customer already feels that they have hundreds and hundreds of decorations to choose from, even a new exciting design is not necessarily going to work that well. Whereas if we went back to something like, I don't know, the crawl space door, that original product we had opened up, the farmhouse pendant lighting for kitchen island, if you put up a new one of these, well, there's only like 4 anyway, right? A lot of these aren't what the customer is asking for. They're just single ones, or they're not the right size. So if you put up a new version of this, it's probably going to get noticed. And in this case, there's actually still quite a few competitors now that I'm scrolling down the page. But the way to achieve what the whole point of this video is about, spending less and making more, drill down on the niche areas, okay? If you want to make more money on Amazon, sell less competitive products that make less per unit, well, less per ASIN, I should say. Don't try and hit a home run, okay? When you're trying to hit a home run, you're loading up every swing, you usually miss a lot harder too. You might hit a home run and it might be great, but if you're trying to put all your force into every single hit, you usually lose a lot of your accuracy. It's usually force or accuracy. Same thing with boxing. You're trying to throw your hardest punch every single time, you're going to throw yourself off balance as soon as that doesn't hit the opponent, or you're going to tire yourself out. Like, all of these things are perfect analogies for what happens on Amazon. Whereas you just land a quick jab, confidence goes up, right? Maybe it's not enough to pay all your bills yet, but it's taking some of the stress off. It's getting you excited for the next product instead of drilling into you and hurting you more with every attempt you make towards business. So to make more on Amazon by spending less, go into the niches. I said that like it was 2 different words. Go into the niches and go into the small markets and provide something new to an audience that only has 7 options. That's how you do it. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. If you still need more help selling on Amazon, I do run Savage University, and we're accepting applicants right now. We do live calls every week, get your questions answered in classroom-like setting, plus tons of private course videos for you to learn from step 1 through step 170, how to sell on Amazon. So if that's interesting to you, there will be a link, first link in the description. Other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Later.